What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. Make sure you like the video, please. Right down below, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm road to now 90k. We're nearly there, my people. So please help me in that cause. And listen, we are going to talk about Kai Havertz. Listen, you know what it is with me in life, yeah? I'm one of them. I'll open up to situations and I'll admit when I'm wrong and I'll admit when I think things need to be given credit to. And listen, I'll bash you and I'll criticize you, but then when needs to be given credit, I'll give you the credit. You know what I'm trying to say to you? Yeah, sometimes I can be shameless, but I want to give some credit to Mikel Arteta. And I want to also give a little bit of credit to Kai Havertz because I can't lie. I thought he was going to be a flop, you know. And you know what? He's actually been instrumental for Arsenal in the last, I would say, couple of months now in terms of being a key cog in Man United's. Sorry, Man United, bloody hell. We're definitely not in no title charge, but Arsenal's title charge. I'm going to give you a little bit of a stat here, and I'm not really a stat guy here, but Kai Havertz has been directly involved in more Premier League goals for Arsenal in 7 games since February 9 than he was in his entire 2023 campaign for Chelsea. 8 in 35 games. It is incredible. He's got 10 attacking returns since game week 25, more than any midfielder in that period. Obviously, it depends on where you look at it with Kai Havertz. Is he a midfielder? Is he a striker? Where do you look at it from that point of view? But I'll be real with you, yeah. With Kai Havertz, yeah, before the start of the season, I said if he could get 6 goals and whatnot and a couple of assists, I think that's not a bad signing. But I did say it's a lot of money. And I think everyone's eyebrows were raised when they spent 65 million from Chelsea. You see Matisse laughing, Tottenham fans were laughing. I was laughing. I was like, 65 million, what are you not doing? But then Real Madrid were after him. You know, there was Bayern Munich after him. There was a lot of people after him in that aspect, and they wanted his signature. They wanted his move. But you know what it is? It comes down to coaching. It really, really does. It comes down to a manager believing in his system, believing in his identity, believing in his method and his plan, and executing it, and taking the risks. You know what I mean? Taking them risks and understanding. You know what? It might not have worked at Chelsea, and he might have been rubbish over there and whatnot, and they didn't get the best out of him. Yeah, he scored the Champions League winning goal and whatnot, and fair enough, cool. But you know what? Like Kai Havertz signing on the whole has been a very, very decent signing this season. You know, he has got the goals. Like Jesus has now been put on the left hand side. Jesus, a guy who came in for what, 50 odd million, you know what I mean? A couple of seasons back. You know, so when you actually deep it, he's now been occupied on the left hand side, and now Havertz is the guy that's up front. Havertz is the guy that's now starting week in, week out, and scoring in big, big, crucial games. A goal against Brentford, a goal here, you know, in Brighton game. He scored against in other multiple games where he scored winners. In fact, you know, the Brentford two games in the Brentford he scored the winners. So when you look at his scoring crucial goals, and I feel like Arteta took that risk because he knew he was adaptable in multiple systems. He knew he could play on the left eight. He knew he can probably play across the front three. You know, and you know what it is with Kai Havertz here, especially the game that I watched against Brighton here. It's the movement for me. You know, I look at sometimes Hoyland here, and I think sometimes I want a bit of movement. I want you to create space for others. I want you to knock it off and do this. And maybe that's not Hoyland's game, and maybe I'm being a bit too harsh on him, yeah. But you got to have players who have different facets to the game rather than goal scoring. Like Kai Havertz is not going to be this unbelievable goal scorer, but he could provide you something within the system. And like I said to you, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily want him in my team because I just view football differently to maybe other players and whatnot. I wouldn't want him in my team, but you know what? Under a right coach, it could work. You know, and it is working for Arsenal. So the fact that he's working for Arsenal and they're benefiting from him, kudos to them and kudos to Arteta. You know, this Arteta here is having a good habit of making signings look good. You know, players that have coming in, yeah, it's took a little bit of while to gel, but a lot of his signings do have an impact on his team. The one with Jesus is so when I look at it, it's more comes down to the fact that he's a natural goal scorer and have they almost misprofiled him? And again, they like to play with multiple players in a team where they can, multiple people can get goals, and it's spread across the team. But in fact, like I said to you, they found a system with Kai Havertz where it's almost like a free roll. He can drift in. The wingers can tuck in, and obviously players like left forward and right forward almost become like attackers. And then you got Odegaard just kind of roaming around it as well. So they've got that balance in there that Kai Havertz can give you. But you know what it is, yeah. Like I said to you, it's good to admit things. And I'm not saying, by the way, yeah, this is not a video where I want people to say, "Oh no, Kai Havertz is the best thing since sliced bread." I'm not saying it, but I will say is that you know what Kai Havertz is a signing that I thought was going to be a flop. I genuinely thought he was going to be a flop. And watch the game tomorrow. He will be a threat tomorrow as well. Because I watched these defenders, yeah. This upper Mancano, they're rash. They come flying out. And if he can get into the right pockets and right spaces, I think there is, places and areas to exploit. So that is something that he could possibly do. So you know what? It's going to be interesting, man. It really, really is going to be interesting as to what he does in the course of a season. But Arteta, you know what I mean? It has been a masterstroke in terms of the signing that he's given you. He's allowed him to play in a way that he is more comfortable with. At Chelsea, maybe they saw him as a different player. Maybe there was a lot of pressure. There wasn't the balance correct over there. If it was a different system, but now this one here where the defense is so strong, the midfield is so good, he can then almost come in and fit in like a glove. He can almost just slot into a system that's already like working. It's a machine. It's a well-oiled machine. Arsenal defensively are so good. 4 goals conceded. You got the midfield that doesn't barely, have any fault in between them. And then you got the attack, which, yeah, Saka's not been in the greatest form, of late. And the left hand side, Martinelli's been out. But when you put all them things together, they're just well oiled and it's working together. And that's why Kai Havertz has come into an environment that is as fitted for him. It's probably been the best environment he could have gone into. Maybe at Real Madrid, the expectations and the weight on his shoulders to score week in, week out would have been too much. The buy-in, come on, Tuchel. Where would he have played under Tuchel? Behind Harry Kane? That would not have worked, let's be honest. So there's areas where I look at it and I'm thinking, you know what? It can work, it can't work. What do they do? How do they do it? You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be interesting, man. It really, really is gonna be interesting to see, you know, how he works in towards the end of the season and how he becomes an important part of the title race and the Champions League. Dare I say it, Champions League as well. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. Has Can have it surprised you? You know what I mean? Is it one of them where did you think it was going to be a flop? Did you believe in him? Let me know in the comments below. Like the video as I said, like I said to you, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.